Call the meeting to order. Proper quorum has been determined. Ask for approval of minutes for October 28th, 2014, regular meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept as submitted.
I have a motion to accept as submitted. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First of all, we have other business. We have our nominations of officers for the Planning Commission, and I'm going to turn it over to our board attorney for this portion.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. With that being said, as you all may very well know, Mr. Jones was selected by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen to sit on the Planning Commission as a representative of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. And with that said, we will need to do an election of officers, the first of which will be the chairperson. So with that said, I will go ahead and open up the floor for a nomination of the chairperson or chairman of the Planning Commission.
Make a motion for Charles Parker to be chairman.
Second.
I have a first. We have a second for that.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes.
Mr. Chairman?
Thanks, sir. Thanks.
With the election of Mr. Parker as the new chairperson, I will turn it over to him for the remainder of the election for other offices.
Okay, do I have a nomination for the office of vice chairman?
Make a motion for Earl Garvin.
I have a motion for Earl Garvin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. I have a motion and a second for Mr. Earl Garvin for vice chairman. Have a voice vote. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Garvin will be our vice chairman then, okay?
Yes, sir.
And also we'll need to nominate a secretary as well. Do I hear any nominations for our secretary?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Graham Coates for secretary.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a nomination for Graham Coates for secretary. I have the nomination and the second, the motion and the second. A vote. Everyone that approves of that was aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. So Graham Coates will be our secretary.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to old business. Site plan for a Beacon Truck Wash requested by Eric Gardner, Cannon & Cannon. Proposed triple bay truck wash and scale comprising of 12,906 square feet on 7.36 acres. Property located along New Paul Road, tax map 017, partial 34.00, I-2 Heavy Industrial Zoning District, parcel owned by Manning Family Partners, LP. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your packet, we have a revised site plan, and I will mention that at the workshop, we had 12 technical items which have been addressed. I'd like to also mention that the Board of Zoning Appeals did approve 2 different variances earlier for the driveway width and for the sign package. And a hearing has been scheduled for the Construction Board of Appeals for the fire suppression system in the wash bays. That has been set for December 3rd. And as you, I'm sure, recall, the discussion from the workshop, most of the discussion had to do with the facade and the color scheme. And the applicant was advised to remove all of the turquoise greenish color from the building. We have revised elevations in your packet. I have them on the screen. These are the elevations that were revised based on the workshop comments. As you can see, they took all the turquoise green off except for the tower, which was the suggestion. I will go on to state, however, that the corporate real estate office determined that this was not suitable as it removed all of their corporate identity. They have tried to compromise and have a preferred set of elevations per corporate, where you can see they have added the blue band, the turquoise green band back to the top portion. They've added stone to the bottom, and then the tower, they only added the turquoise green on the top half. In your packet, you do have a justification letter for the color scheme, which is enclosed for review. And we do have the applicant here to discuss his, the revisions if you would like to entertain that.
Okay. Yes, we'll ask the applicant to come up, please. State your name and address, please, sir, for the,
It's Dana Morse, M-O-R-S-E,
okay.
500 Graves Boulevard, Salina, Kansas, 67402.
Do you have some things you'd like to add to what Ms. Costanza said?
I do. If she could go back to that first color elevation. This is the elevation that we all talked about at the last meeting, is to have the tower in the green and all the rest in an earth tone with a blue stripe. And we tried that as we committed to do. We looked at it, and honestly, we said, you know, it looks to us like we primered the whole building and then we painted the tower and decided to quit. We just didn't feel that in any way represented our corporate colors, which we've talked about 2 meetings with you guys that are important to us. So we resubmitted, or are resubmitting color elevations that show the turquoise color, and as staff pointed out, with stone at the base of the tower to try and lessen the impact of the turquoise color that the commission has a concern with. And you know, I know everybody has differing opinions about the importance of that green and how it fits the overlay district. From our standpoint, from Blue Beacon's standpoint, that green is our corporate color. We've worked 40 years to develop that so that as truckers spot that color, they know we're there. They know it's a Blue Beacon. They don't. It's more than just a truck wash. It's a Blue Beacon truck wash, which is very important to us. And again, you know, if you remember, when we came in the very first time, the whole building was all green with a blue stripe. So I don't want to stand here and try and tell you that we had to have that whole green. We have tried to compromise. We have added stone. We have added earth tone. There are just some colors that on the interstate side certainly are very, very important to us for visibility. And we've talked about this being a non-traditional site for Blue Beacon. If you look across the country, if you look at our location flyer, you'll see that the vast majority of them are either on or near a truck stop. Because we couldn't find land over by the pilot or even by the TA that was available, we chose to venture out and go on the other side of the interstate and try it. And it's a trial. It's different than anything we've done. But to us, that makes it more important to have that color visible from the interstate, as opposed to us just being next to the truck stop and kind of having that visibility there. I think in your package you have a couple pictures. Did you have those pictures out?
I didn't get any pictures. There was mention of
Okay.
Barstow.
I said in my letter that, and I was thinking that we had sent the pictures. There are a couple of pictures of Barstow. Barstow is this color. I hope to get those included, or that we would get those so they could be included, because it has the landscaping. And, you know, computers are great and they can do a lot of wonderful things, but they don't really show you what it looks like when it's really built. And the pictures of Barstow did with the landscaping along there, and we thought that might help you visualize what this will look like if it's built with the colors we're proposing. You know, as I look at the building, and I think on what I call the back side, the bay side, which I guess would be the south side, where the trees are, that's not going to be really visible to anyone.
You're speaking about the top elevation
Right.
right now, correct? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I'm talking about
The wash bay
the
elevation, the
wash bay
top one,
Yeah,
that's the one,
Yeah.
that's the one you're talking about right there, okay.
yeah.
I just wanted to
I
make
should have
sure
worn
we
my
all
glasses
understood.
because I can't read
I
that
got
from here.
I got you.
And I don't know about the entrance end, how visible that will be from the interstate. I don't know. The exit end, I understand that there are proposed to be buildings in front of us, some warehouse buildings, which will probably block that. I had our engineering staff, and again, I apologize, I only have it on my cell phone, but I'd be more than happy to call it up. I had them run a line of sight from the entrance of the residential area, the housing area, to the west, up across the hill, looking at that tower. And if you assume, which we plan to do some plantings and stuff, which I think they've projected those to be 10 feet high, you're only going to see the blue part of the tower from the housing area. So because we're on the backside of the hill, and I didn't even include, when they did the line of sight, the trees down low where they are. So I don't think, even if the warehousing doesn't build in front of us, that the housing development's going to see our building. They're going to see a part of the tower, but not much of it. You know, we've talked in the past about GPS and what it'll do, and I've agreed that it's coming. Even for us old people, it's coming. But we partner with Cat Scale in several locations, and they fielded some technology 6, 8 months ago, that allows the driver in his cab to identify where the next Cat Scale is. And not only that, but when he gets there and weighs, if he has an iPhone, it will send him his weight. The only thing it won't give him is a DOT certified weigh chit, the thing that the cops are going to want to see if you get stopped again. They haven't figured that out yet. And we've been dealing with CAT because our uniqueness for CAT scales is that at a normal truck stop, a driver has to pull up on the scale, weigh, pull off and park, go in and get his receipt, and pay for it. If he's overweight, he has to go back out, pull out of the parking space, go across the scale again and re-weigh after he's adjusted his axle. So it's quite a routine. With our situation, he can pull up to that window and know if he's legal or not. If he's legal, he's going to get his receipt. If he's not, he's going to pull forward, adjust his axles, swing around and come back through, and he's done. And we were concerned with their new technology that that uniqueness might end. And they said their technology is not really caught on. People are not using it. And they're guessing it could be 10 years before it becomes the way to weigh trucks out in the industry. So while I agree that GPS is used, and I have to admit I used it to get here from the airport today, I'm not certain all truckers are up to snuff on it yet.
Did you bring any color, any concrete color that we can look at for this turquoise or blue or green, whatever you call it? Do y'all have any colors with you that we can actually see that? Because, I mean, what you've depicted here, it doesn't even have what I have seen, I haven't even seen a definitive color of it. Even that, the same thing with the gray. That'd just be my question for you.
I don't have the gray, and the best I can do, and again, it's another picture, but it's certainly a better picture than
Yeah, then the
probably what the
computer
computer
generated.
generated.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Look at that.
But that is the color.
Okay. Okay, does the board have any questions?
Can I
Or do
ask?
you have anything
Well,
else?
did
I'm sorry.
did you all get a chance to read the letter that I sent
This
with?
letter in our packet?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I've read it. I
Okay.
don't know if the rest of our members have or not. Yeah.
I-
And you pretty much covered it in what you had to say. Yes,
I
you
did. I do want to, and I know that your decisions are not economic decisions, but we do feel we bring quite a bit to the community. I pointed out in the letter that, you know, we'll invest $3 or $4 million in this building, hire 45 to 50 people, and And just so you know what goes on, we have a facility in Knoxville that'll be a double bay, or is a double bay, just like this one will start out. The annual payroll there was $1 million for the employees. The gross receipts for last year were 2.4 million, of which in Tennessee we pay a tax, a service tax. So we feel we bring quite a bit more to the facility than just being a truck wash. And hopefully
And we appreciate you pointing that out.
Okay.
We appreciate you pointing that out. But there again, we don't only look at it from an economic standpoint.
I understand.
With our overlay district, it does complicate matters some.
I understand that too.
That's what we're dealing here with these colors. So, with that being said, do you have anything else you'd like to add, or do y'all have any questions for Ms. Jones? Any comments?
I suppose, let me just say what we were discussing at the workshop was that we discussed this, and it is in the overlay district. There are several other large buildings that have already been built at a considerable cost. They adhere to our overlay plan. And I think with the signage package that they have been approved, that the trucks know where it's going to be. I think with the proposal that they brought from what they class as corporate, my question to the applicant is, are you wanting us to look at the as 3B or 3A? Because we need to know which way we go with. At the moment, it looks like you're putting two cards down, and I would like to know which one you want us to play. So 3B is the one not agreed to at the workshop, where 3A was the one that we ended up discussing the most and thought it was most applicable to what we thought was good for the city.
3B.
So you want to put on the board 3B?
Yes, sir.
That, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to deny as submitted. As submitted.
Okay.
Do the colour package as presented on item 3B.
If I could interject, being the fact that there is a motion to deny on the table, if there could be a basis, just from the discussion that's been said today, as to the basis for denial.
Okay. Because the 3B proposal does not concur with the overlay project as the city is being pushed through with other clients. So I want to be consistent with all clients, and therefore that's the reason.
Okay. We have a motion to deny, as you all heard, based on it not adhering to the overlay district requirements. It's basically what we're talking about here. Do I have a second? We have a motion with no second. Therefore, the motion will be denied, or do we vote on it?
Being the fact that it was not seconded, it's not currently before the board for a vote,
Okay.
so it's simply failed.
Non-existent. Okay.
So it would be open for discussion now for additional motions or additional discussions or questions for the applicant or discussion for the board.
Okay, the floor is open for additional motion or discussions. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I can make this any easier, but I'll do my best. If we look at the top elevation, which is, I think that's south, facing south. If that became I'm not talking about the tower, I'm talking about the building. If that became all earth tone, and we looked at the second from the top elevation, which is where the truck wash is, which faces the interstate, we left that as is, and we dropped to the exit and entrance ends of the elevation, again, not talking about the tower, and made those all earth tone. Would the commission feel any better about it? I guess.
Having discussion. You're talking about on one elevation, leave it as it's showing on the drawing,
That one is left alone.
and the other one's changed to where it be all earth tone,
They are earth tone,
except the tower.
except the tower,
Are you talking about the total height of the tower?
just as it's shown.
Okay,
We'd
so you'd
still
have-
leave the stone
You'd have
on.
stone on the bottom, okay. Okay, any more comments from the board?
So, I mean, I just need a little clarification on it. So we're going to do the wash bay, if we're going to do 3A, we're going to take, and I'm just going to make it, I'm going to simplify it for myself. I hope it's simplified for the rest of the board. We're just going to call it 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think
Okay.
he's talking about, I think he's talking about 3B.
3B.
Yeah, I'm saying, but
Okay.
you're changing,
It'll be the same as 3A with the
It's gonna be the
exception
same as
of
3A.
office facility elevation will be,
with the exception of 2.
You have simplified it, that's right.
Okay, that's what I see.
No, that's not right.
I said, look,
The whole tower
is-
on
is-
A is green, and we're gonna make this stone.
okay.
Okay,
so incorporate, he's done a little bit of both of them is what he's doing.
all right, like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
On
stone.
3B would be looking at the elevation on the wash bay, which is the south elevation, as being all earth tones except the top of the tower.
Correct.
Right, for this one, correct.
Right.
This would stay the same.
That would stay the same, and the other two
And
would be.
then the green
all-
here would disappear, the green here would disappear.
Right, correct.
There would be no green on the facade except for the facade facing the
The
interstate.
interstate, okay. Okay. Is everyone clear on this? Everyone clear? Okay.
Chairman, just technicality is that we don't have a plan presented to that at the present time.
Did you hear the comments, sir? We don't have a plan, we don't have a plan before us that represents that at this time.
And the site, we're here to approve or disapprove the site plan, and this board needs to have a site plan one way or the other, clearly identifying what they plan or propose or want us to vote on.
If I could interject
Yes.
here as well.
Yeah.
You do have before you at the applicant's election, I believe it was entitled 3B that's currently before the board. There was a motion to deny that application which did not pass, so that is still pending before the board. If the board is not ready to make a determination on that, I guess that the board, by the agreement of the applicant, could defer in order for the proper site plan to be resubmitted upon next meeting of the board for consideration by agreement of the parties.
Okay. Do you understand what he just said? What's your wish? Do you want the board to vote on it, or do you want to defer it and let's get it worked out? Because this board has made a habit in the past of not voting on things contingent upon something. And the way I look at this, and the attorney may correct me, would be voting on it contingent upon them changing these plans to match what they say they're going to do. Is that correct?
I'd state that I don't know of any law that would restrict your ability to do that, but if I understand what's currently before the board and what the applicant's requesting is it would be approval of what's been submitted contingent upon the changes that are agreed upon by the parties.
Okay.
And of course, the board, it's your decision to make if that's what you
Okay.
want to do.
Okay. What's your wish, sir?
Let me, I hate to restate what the attorney said, but I'll try. If I understand what you're saying is they could say, well, we understand what you're saying about the modifications, and we'll vote on whether we want to accept those modifications or not. And if we approve it, that approval is contingent upon you submitting something that matches what we approved.
I believe what was said is that the board could do that. I can't speak for the board as to whether they would do that or not.
Right. That would be my preference.
And I can't speak to everyone else. We could just put the motion before the board and it would be voted on.
That would be my preference to
Okay.
say, we
Okay.
understand what the modifications you want to make, and we'll vote on those, yea or nay.
Okay. Do we need to have a written list of those?
I would put it in the motion
Okay.
so that
Okay.
it is.
Mr. Chairman, just want to say one thing. In the
Yes.
past 8 years, we've not done a contingency,
Okay.
and it opens up a whole bag of worms for other applicants.
Okay. With that being said, do we have?
With that being said, I do agree with Graham on that. We have past practice, but we're going to place that into the motion. Therefore, I make a motion that we approve with the contingency of the specifics discussed by combining 3A and 3B with the specifics of the actual colors on the buildings. Does that sound, did I say that properly?
Well, yes, you did, but no,
Okay.
you didn't. But let's think about this. I think that it might be not in the best interest of the planning commission or the applicant to mention within the same motion both 3A and 3B, considering the fact that 3A is not currently before the board for consideration. I understand what was attempted to be done in the motion. So in other words, maybe the better way to do it would be to, if the motion is to approve 3B with contingencies, is to say that your motion is to approve 3B upon the specific contingencies as follows, and list those specifically out such that everybody knows what those contingencies are.
Yeah, we'd need the contingencies on each elevation.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Whatever the board is considering the motion as to what the contingencies will be, they need to be very specific about that if they want that to be in the motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if you want, I've got a red pen. You can mark a red pen on the X off where you want the green gone, and vote on the drawing as marked up if that's what you want to do.
And I would also recommend that if the motion passes, that and that the specific contingencies are reflected on the site plan that's been submitted and approved, that the applicant sign off on that as well, acknowledging that that was actually what was submitted, because while originally he submitted 3B, it's now being submitted with contingencies that need to be agreed upon by the parties as to what exactly is being approved.
Okay. Mr. Jones, you want to
I'll try.
kick back in one more time?
I'll try. Yeah. I'll try, and I'll ask you to step up to the podium again because I don't want to make a mistake here. As I previously stated, I'll make a motion that we accept the site plan with 3B with the following changes and contingency. And I'd also like to say I make a motion requiring that this new site plan be within, what's a good time frame? Be resubmitted.
How quick you
10
do that?
days.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the holidays coming up.
Holidays
so
coming up, so 10
Yeah,
would
10
probably
days.
be.
10 days?
10 days is more than
Okay,
adequate. Yep.
10 days.
Okay.
I make a motion that we accept 3B with the following contingencies on it as related to Wash Bay elevation, which would be the first elevation. Wash Bay elevation, Ms. Costanza, was going to be what? We're going to take out the green
We're taking out the green on the wall facade.
and all earth tone with the blue stripe? Or
That is
without?
correct. The blue stripe stays.
Okay. Okay. With the motion as it refers to official facility, office facility elevation, it was going to be,
It's going to stay the same.
Stay the same.
it's going to be the same,
That's the interstate side.
okay?
Yes.
As it pertains to exit elevation, all earth tone, except for the tower,
The top of the tower.
the top of the tower, the bottom of the tower is going to,
Be stone.
actually, it's just like it is. I mean, that would be the same, except for the green.
Correct.
Okay, green is out. And then the entrance elevation, the green is out, correct?
Except the tower, correct.
Except for tower.
Except the tower. Do we need to take his red pen and mark this so that everyone can sign it if it's passed?
I don't think it necessarily has to be in red pen, but
Okay.
if that'll distinguish it, I suppose it could.
Okay. Yep. Okay. What's the date of this plan also, Calvin? It should tell you that on that corner right there.
10/27,
Okay.
2014.
Okay.
Did you get that, Kathy? Okay, so that would be my
Got a
motion, as it is on the table now pertaining to 3B dated 10/27/2014.
Mr. Chairman, again, if I may interject, it also may be wise for you to ask the applicant if that motion is actually what is being submitted for approval by this board. In other words, originally he did say it was just 3B, but if I understand it correctly, the applicant is now asking that the board consider 3B with these contingencies for approval.
Could you step up here, sir? I'm just out.
This is actually earth tone, right?
Earth tone, right. It'll be the same as the bottom, just with the blue stripe on it.
Mhm.
Right there. That's correct.
And
I guess I should say green out.
this,
Green is out.
no,
This is stays the same. No, this is stays the same. This is stays the same. Yeah.
And we're saying, when I say out, green is out. And it's
Okay.
okay. Do I need to remake that motion now that I can understand what it is?
Eventually. No. Mr. Jones, I would advise that would be wise.
Okay. Just restate the motion, okay?
Okay, I will make a motion that we accept the Plan 3B with the following revisions. As it pertains to wash bay elevation, the green is out and it should be earth tone,
Except on the tower.
except on tower. Office and facility elevation will stay the same
As shown.
as shown on 3B. Exit elevation, the green is out and should be earth tone, except the tower, and the tower should be stone in earth tone. And the entrance elevation, the green is out and will be earth tone, except the tower.
Are we clear on the motion? Everyone clear on the motion? Do I have a second for the motion?
Second.
Got a second on the motion. All right, let's have a voice. Let's just have a roll call vote, okay? I think that'd be the appropriate thing to do here. We'll start with Mr. Coates.
No.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes? Mr.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Okay, the chairman will vote no. Okay, so the motion does pass. Okay, all right, that's,
Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes.
could once more, I believe that the applicant indicated that he would sign the site plan that was submitted today.
okay, we'll put this in Ms. Costanza's care, I guess, or, does it need to be in your, or Mr. Brown, which one do we need?
I'll take
Ms.
it.
Costanza, okay, okay. Let's turn it around, let you just sign it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And again, I hate to interject, I know I'm talking a lot tonight. I believe in that motion, as opposed to the previous motions, there was not a declaration of the fact that the applicant would have to submit the site plan as revised by today within 10 days. So if somebody would make a motion to simply amend the prior motion that was just accepted and accept that with the amendment, that should take care of
Do
it,
we need to give a specific date or just say 10 days from today?
whichever the board chooses.
Okay. I'll let whoever makes the motion. Do I hear a motion? Stating that we have 10 days and you can either put the date on it or just leave it 10 days from today.
I don't know what it would be 10 days from today.
What would 10 days from today be?
December 11th is 10 business days excluding holidays.
Okay.
December 11th, is that what day of the week is that? What day?
Thursday.
A Thursday, okay.
I'll make a motion that the previous motion, agreed to motion would be submitted by December 11th, 2014.
That the revised site plan would be?
That the revised site plan would be submitted to staff by December 11th, 2014.
And I'm not sure, but I believe, it's my understanding that that is a contingency as well upon which the granting of this is based.
Right.
If that's in the
That is
motion, I'm
correct.
not sure.
That is
Okay.
correct, as a
That's correct.
contingency to the granting of this.
Does the applicant understand this?
Yes.
Okay, okay, sorry, okay. Just want to make sure we all understand. I have a motion that a new site plan would be submitted by Thursday, December the 11th. Is that correct?
As a contingency
As a
to
con-
what
as
was
a con-
previously
As a
approved
contingency
tonight.
of what was previously approved tonight. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second. Let's have a roll call vote again.
No.
Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
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 I say yes. So the motion carries. Okay. Is that all on this particular one? Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go to new business number 2, preliminary plat.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
may I interject?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
ask Kristen, please step up and take,
Okay.
Certainly.
He's gonna have the hand off you.
All right.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to item number 2, new business. Preliminary plat, Center Point, Lot 13, requested by Adam Steele, Little John Engineering. Proposed public utility extensions 108.2 acres, property located along Centerpoint Drive and Centerpoint Way, tax map 017, parcel 37.04. I-2 Heavy Industrial Zoning District, parcel owned by Panatoni Development Group Incorporated. Ms. Costanzo.
In your packet, you'll see we do have a deferral request that we received late today.
Okay.
The applicant has not received word yet from TDEC regarding some of the environmental features on the site, so they have asked for deferral.
Referral, okay, very good. Bonds and letters of credit update.
Mr. Chairman, everyone should have the updated bond sheet in front of them. McFarland Point was the one that was closest, and all those have been extended for another year. And then Chelsea Estates, I have been in contact with the developer on it. They're going to get it extended for another year also,
Okay.
which is December 20th.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other business? This meeting will be adjourned. Thank you.